Okay, guys, use the pre-fight instructions. Recibiste las instrucciones. Protect yourself. Protégete todo el tiempo. Buena suerte. Good luck. Let's go.
Who is the best lightweight in the world? We're about to find out.
All the hard work that Ronnie Shields did in bringing Rocky Juarez home to the draw with Chris John in the first fight. Now he goes to work again because Shields also trains Juan Diaz. Marquez's trainer, Nacho Beristain, was the man who handled Oscar De La Hoya in his disastrous outing against Manny Pacquiao. Already the pressure from Diaz begins. Good straight left hand by Diaz, and a chopping left hook in the corner. And another left hook, backs up Marquez against the ropes. Marquez hasn't found the counter-punching rhythm quite yet.
As a matter of fact, Marquez has not been able to land, to me, one clean blow yet. And whereas I think Diaz has landed about 3 or 4 punches at this stage.
Now Marquez begins to try to extend his jab. So far seems just a bit off balance in the face of Diaz's aggression. Diaz showing respect, ripping Marquez with another left hook. 3 body shots from Marquez. Diaz goes in with the right hand. This is going to be a hellacious war.
Unlike a lot of fights between a younger and older fighter, in this case, the early rounds seem to favor Diaz, where he can take over with his energy and volume punching. Marquez relies on precision counter punches, which may tell later in the fight.
Marquez works his way into the fight. Remember, down 3 times against Pacquiao in the first round of the first fight. Down in the second round of their second fight. Had trouble earlier against Casamayor. But in the middle rounds, he finds the rhythm, adjusts his game, and begins to go to work technically.
What's impressive to me right now is Diaz's defense. He's been able to pick most of Marquez's punches and has found a way of getting, particularly his little short left jab through, to hit Marquez for the most part. I thought this was what we would see starting about the 4th round, but not in the 1st round.
See, what I just saw over the last 15 or 20 seconds was Marquez land a couple of clean shots and then block everything Diaz had to throw over the, by the ropes. Maybe he's already making adjustments.
Well, Diaz's great brain power serves him well, not just in the college classroom. He's used it throughout his learning curve in the ring. And Marquez just might be the smartest fighter in the sport. So you're looking at great intellect as well as great athletic talent.
Not to mention the well-known cultural Mexican tradition of willing to mix it up.
And are they ever? What a big left hook by Diaz. Marquez trying to fire back, lands a right cross and a left hook. Round 1 is an all-out war. And they taunt each other.
Everything is okay. When he throws his jab, you throw your right hand or your uppercut. Where's the grease? Where's the Vaseline? Everything's okay. But he closed you up. Step back and go to the sides.
Don't get up high. Stay down low. Use the jab. Get close. Keep your punches going, all right?
Okay, seconds out.
Hands out.
Let's go.
Step in.
What a sizzling round 1. CompuBox numbers. Marquez 29 out of 95. Diaz 31 out of 104. The 95 punches thrown by Marquez, the most ever thrown in a round by Marquez in a fight tracked by CompuBox. Translation, he was forced to play Diaz's game.
Absolutely. And when Diaz is exchanging, notice Diaz is punching straight through the middle with punches where he's really exerting his weight Even though they weighed in the same, and I guess tonight Marquez weighed in more, but I just see the natural strength more with Diaz. And he's punching in a manner where he's forcing Marquez to back up by pushing his punches straight forward and pushing his weight at the same time.
And by the way, with the sole exception of his one loss in the Campbell fight, Diaz's stamina across the long course of the fight has always been amazing to behold. So don't expect much of a slowdown. If anything, if he gets his chance, he might crank it up a little more. But now the pace slows a little bit in the second round as Marquez begins to add more variety to his game. You saw the left-hand uppercut. Body shots by Diaz. I get the hunch that Marquez is going to need to stay off the ropes, Emmanuel.
Yes, and I don't think he's going to do that. And the way that Diaz is punching, he's got his head down more, where he's getting better leverage in the exchanges, and Marquez's head is up more.
And this crowd is on its feet already, and they may be on their feet all the way.
You notice Diaz is not throwing that many hooks. He's shooting his punches straight, where he can maximize his strength.
Big left hook, staggers Marquez. Marquez in trouble and trying to fight his way out of it.
And we've seen this from Marquez before when he's stunned, and he was stunned there. His instinct is to fire right back. Maybe the truest mark of a real champion.
But he's in with a bigger man this time, and I can see the difference in the strength right there.
If Diaz had world-class power for the weight, Marquez might have been gone right there. It was an unbelievable shot. But Marquez continues to fight back.
His punching power is not that bad. He still may possibly stop Marquez, or at least knock him down.
You saw that instinct that I mentioned from Morales and Barrera in this last featherweight golden era, and I think Marquez has the same thing inside him.
In fact, if you wanted to find a comparison for what round one looked like, it looked like a round out of a Morales-Barrera fight.
And so does this one.
I like Diaz's defense for the most part, which I'm surprised.
They're both going to land more than 30 punches in the round. Big left hook by Diaz, straight right hand by Marquez. Good left hook by Marquez on the top of Diaz's head. Diaz jabbing and hunting. Marquez going to the body and coming back up. Missed the right hand. What a round.
I want you to give me a boxing round this round, okay? Okay? I want you to relax for me now, okay? Now listen, don't let this guy out-jab you, okay? See, this whole thing is he's trying to out-jab you, okay? Don't let him out-jab you. Look, you're coming up a little bit too high. We gotta stay down, and we gotta move to keep the head moving, okay? But everything else is good. When you get close, keep sticking with that jab. Go to the body, okay? But look, this round here, I really want you to concentrate on that jab this round, okay?
Here we say Diaz driving in, we call him left hook right there, and had probably more effect than it would have had, except because he had him back and back. And he's maximizing his weight on every punch by lunging forward as he punches.
CompuBox numbers in the second round. Marquez 34 out of 94. Diaz 30 out of 98. So if the first round was the largest number of punches Marquez has ever thrown in a CompuBox counted round, the second round was the second largest number of punches ever thrown in a CompuBox counted round. They're still basically playing Diaz's game.
Marquez is a very intelligent fighter, though. If there is any mistakes in Diaz's arsenal, you can be sure that Marquez is going to find them out as the fight goes on.
Well, I think very intelligent is an understatement.
Yes.
He's a supremely intelligent fighter.
Yes.
He's blessed with excellent reflexes and very good punching power, but you have to wonder about those reflexes at the age of 35.
And particularly given the wars he's been in. And a guy's had as many terrific fights against great opponents as Marquez has had. Every once in a while, they go off the diving board all at once. But he's looked really good in the first couple of rounds against a guy who's looked just a tiny bit better.
Yeah, but the guy's feeling a lot of pressure. I don't think Marquez, this pressure is going to probably negate a lot of his counter-punching better because it's making him fight at a faster pace than he likes to fight at.
by Diaz. He's going to have to watch out for the uppercut. Marquez threw the uppercut from a little too far away. He's going to have to get closer to do it right. Good straight jabs by Marquez there, momentarily stopping Diaz in his tracks. And tracks they are, as Juan stalks and stalks. Four-punch combination by Diaz.
This is the Juan Diaz that had the boxing world buzzing before his loss to Nate Campbell.
What a will, what determination. Good luck took by Diaz.
Marquez is landing punches, but the way that Diaz is piling in with his weight is making his punches look more effective because he's forcing Marquez to lose his balance. But even though Marquez is landing punches just as good sometimes.
Good right hand by Marquez. Right behind Diaz's guard and on the ear. Real fighters love this. They love this kind of competition. A lot of Marquez advocates thought this might be man against boy. So far, it's been man on man in a fight for man only.
Súbelo, súbelo, okay?
Monday night, a brand new event, the BNP Paribas Showdown for the Billie Jean King Cup. One night of live women's tennis featuring the Williams sisters, Jelena Jankovic and Ana Ivanovic.
You've got to throw the punches. Throw the punches, make him miss. Come on. Uppercut with the left shot. And finish off with a hook to the liver.
That knee, okay? Keep using that good jab, though, okay? Stay with that good jab. Double and triple that jab. Every now and then fade him and come right back. Both hands, okay? Let's dig that body.
Here you see Diaz coming in, pushing his punches forward with full force, and also you see punches coming back from Marquez, which are counter punches, but it don't create the excitement because he's not forcing Diaz to back, but he's still landing clean, effective punches.
CompuBox numbers through round 3. Marquez 91 out of 268. Diaz 87 out of 281. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Look at you. 3 rounds to nothing. 30 to 27. Juan Diaz. Jim, one quick thing about our last fight. I absolutely can't remember the last time I saw 3 judges score out a draw. Very, very rare. Back to this fight. Juan Diaz keeps walking him down, landing clean, hard, effective shots. And when he gets Marquez on the ropes, Marquez seems to lose his head and stand there and slug with Diaz, and that's how Diaz wants to fight. Juan Diaz landed more clean shots, just like he's doing right there. 3-0 Diaz.
You know, I understand that score, and Diaz is imposing his kind of fight. But I'll tell you the truth, guys, I think Marquez is landing the harder punches.
Well, I think he might be a harder puncher, but of course, Diaz, as we pointed out, is by nature the bigger man and more of a natural lightweight. Emmanuel, what is Marquez going to do to take away Diaz's left hook, which is landing with ferocious regularity?
I've been impressed by the left hook, which I'm surprised, especially, you know, most of the guys from Mexico block left hooks very well, but I think he's going to have to try to just block the punch and counter punch at the exact same time, and I don't know if he can do that. He needs to, whenever he sees Diaz throwing a hook, he needs to block it and shoot his counter hook at the exact same time.
Diaz has been brilliant so far at finding those moments when Marquez's right hand is slightly dropped. He's landed several flush left hooks.
Yeah, and he gets maximum level. He hunches his body forward in a Joe Frazier type style, where his left hook has tremendous force because he has his weight leaning right into the position where he can load up on the left hook.
But look at the comeback combination by Marquez. A 4-punch counter-punch combination. Awesome stuff. should a fight like this even be scored? Just let them fight to the finish.
Okay? Come on, I need that head side to side head movement. Okay? Listen, relax and take it. Relax, okay? Everything is going good for you, okay? Listen, you got to use the jab. The jab is the most important thing you have. But you got to step in with it. Don't fall in with it, okay? Okay? Look, everything is going good, baby. Everything is going good. Just keep that head.
Where's the Vaseline? Where's the Vaseline? Come on, you put some punches in there. Put some punches in there. He's opening his mouth already.
Here you say Diaz land his beautiful left hook. Evidently, Marquez cannot feel the left hook when it's coming. He's reaching out for it as if it was maybe a jab coming in, and instead he's getting caught with that left hook continually.
In round 4, Marquez gained just a little bit of an edge in CompuBox numbers, 38 out of 96 as opposed to 30 of 86 for Diaz. And for the first time in the fight, Harold Letterman sees a round in Marquez's favor.
I also thought Marquez landed the most effective punches towards the end of that round.
I agree with you, Mac. He just doesn't get the credit for it because, you know, he doesn't move Diaz back, where when Diaz lands a punch, he always forces Marquez's head and his body to move back. But Marquez is landing a lot of clean, effective combinations, particularly at the end of the round.
Diaz is trying to follow in the footsteps of boxing greats like Jake LaMotta, Jeff Fennick, and others who were great pressure fighters, even though they weren't big punchers, but they were able to establish themselves with their volume of punching and their physical strength.
Again, imposing his will against Marquez on the ropes, and catches him again with a left hook as Marquez steps away. Now Marquez will look to land a 3 or 4 point combination, and he nails Diaz with 2 uppercuts in a row, both from the left side. Straight right hand down the pipe by Diaz, lands twice in a row. Whoever throws more body punches may ultimately be the winner in the fight.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be a tough fight right here.
Another huge left hook by Diaz.
I mean, these guys are fighting at a pace and putting such mustard on each shot and fighting at a skill level. You rarely see all those elements combined.
Big body shot by Marquez.
You know, referee Rafael Ramos has not had to break these guys up for one clinch at all that I can remember.
I didn't even know he was in the ring.
No, they're just fighting their way straight through the fight.
You know, not to say it's quite on that level yet, but in certain ways it's reminiscent of Corrales and Castillo. No clinches.
Number of bombs that are being landed.
I guess not, but no clinches, a fast-paced, hard shots, high skill level. Unclear who will ultimately impose their will.
That fight was in 2003, I believe, on our competitor network, Showtime. One difference, maybe those guys were slightly heavier punches, but neither of them had the volume that these guys are producing tonight. Good left hook by Diaz again, and a right hand at the end of the round by Marquez. And there's blood above the corner of Marquez's right eye. And I was just about to say, Emmanuel, whose face can hold up? Whose features will hold up under all this leather?
Let's go to the head.
Por favor.
Please. Where's the grease? Where's the Vaseline? Juan. Juan, wait. Let me work the cut. I'm winning. You're winning, but very little. By very little. You see, the referee looks like he changed sides on him.
Marquez has been cut in that same spot before against both Manny Pacquiao and Joel Casamayor. Nacho Beristain has worked that cut before, and he's working it again tonight. Diaz was cut badly in the Campbell fight, but other than that, his features have held up very well despite his non-stop high-pressure style in other fights. Another big left hook by Diaz. I mentioned the body shot disparity. I believe it's Marquez, really, who's thrown more body shots early and is landing them at a high rate. Blood begins to trickle again from the cut just outside Marquez's right eye. There, Diaz got in a solid body shot against the ropes. Marquez is beginning to become more conscious of trying to block Diaz's left hook. Diaz is adjusting by going to the body instead.
If Marquez is not setting a trap when he's retreating to the ropes, that's a very good sign for Diaz.
But I was very impressed with the point that you mentioned, Jim, that he's been able to neutralize Diaz's left hooks lately. He has not been hit with any of those left hooks. And that's a sign of a very intelligent fighter.
Uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. How many times do you see that? Left hook, back into the ropes. All-out war. What happened to the boxing?
But the clean-up blows are landed by Marquez, even the crowd is excited. But Marquez is landing most of the clean-up blows in those exchanges there.
A hard right hand, lands a hard right hand, takes a hard right hand. Crowd rises to its feet again.
Look, don't let this guy rest, okay? Don't let him rest. Don't let him rest, okay? Look, you're not stepping with that jab, though, baby, okay? Give me a deep one. Deep one. Let him out slow. Again, deep one. Let him out slow. Look.
What is it? 7th round. It's the 7th round. Don't go to the rope, son. Just move your head. Don't let him build. Don't let him build, okay? Where's the Vaseline? I want yellow Vaseline. Don't expose yourself, Juan. Come on, in the center of the ring. Throw the combinations, beautiful combinations. And then move.
Can anybody believe we're already halfway through the fight? What a pace. Power punches through 6 rounds. Marquez 128 out of 290. Diaz 122 out of 369. I mentioned the body shots. The advantage there so far, Marquez, he's landed 30 to 23 for Diaz. Harold, that's not really how fights are scored by judges. How do you have it?
No, Jim. 4 rounds to 2. 58, 56, Juan Diaz. Jim, Juan Manuel Marquez really ought to stay off them ropes. When he goes on the ropes, Juan Diaz just pummels him like you're watching right here. When the fight goes into the center of the ring, Juan Manuel Marquez does very, very well. But he ought to stay off the ropes. He's given Diaz the advantage of that effective aggressiveness and using his size by going up on the ropes. 4-2, Juan Diaz.
Here's an amazing statistic, guys. Through 6 rounds of this fight, and despite the fact that Marquez twice went 12 rounds with Manny Pacquiao, Juan Diaz has already thrown more power punches against Juan Manuel Marquez than anybody has ever thrown against him in a 12-round fight already.
Standards of this fight, Diaz took a breather in the 6th, something that Ronnie Shields noted in the corner. and told him to correct.
Ronnie hadn't had to work quite as hard here as he did in the Rocky Juarez-Chris John fight that preceded this. And he'll be trying to steer his man down the stretch for sure. Straight right hands landing for Juan Manuel Marquez. Left hook lands again for Diaz. Left hook, body shot, left hook to the body, all by Juan Diaz. Now Marquez tries to come back.
I don't know if Marquez is going to be able to maintain all the way through, you know, because he throws a lot of punches, but the fights with Pacquiao, he had a lot of in-between time. Diaz is pushing him a lot more. And
his mouth is open, Emmanuel, and he's breathing past his mouth guard. And it looks as though the stamina advantage is beginning to show for the baby bull.
Marquez has fought a bit with his mouth open since the third round. The pace is something, as you noted, Jim, that he's not used to.
But he's landing a lot of clean blows. You don't get the reaction from the crowd that's whenever Diaz is, but he's landing a lot of clean blows still.
Especially in the middle of the ring, as Harold mentioned.
Yeah.
Two straight right hands by Marquez. Two more big left hooks by Diaz. Drives Marquez back against the ropes. Lands a straight right hand of his own. Marquez trying to counter again. Diaz keeping the pressure on. He listened to Ronnie between rounds. He's not going to let the Mexican rest.
Everything, watch his face, watch his face. Listen, you still got to stay close to him, but look, all we got to do, Juan, you still, in the inside, we got to move his leg. Got to move your, you got to move your head to the inside, okay? Okay. Just move your head and give it a deep breath. No, you're boxing good, son, okay? You're boxing good, but you...
Okay. Move in the middle, get to the middle. In the middle. You're beating him down. Don't go to the ropes. That's on his favors. In the middle, you're beating him.
Here you can see the intensity of the furious exchanges that they have, and you see the punches are landing, short punches, sweat flying. Shows the type of a fight. Just a lot of excitement, a lot of hard punches.
CompuBox numbers in the 7th. Marquez 35 out of 70, landing half his blows. Diaz 34 out of 91. Again, they're still playing mostly Diaz's game, and that's showing up on Harold Letterman's scorecard. You've heard the crowd. You've seen the energy. In January, it was a tremendous crowd in Staples Center in Los Angeles for Shane Mosley's whacking of Antonio Margarito. Last Saturday night, big crowds in Madison Square Garden and Youngstown, Ohio for Miguel Cotto and Kelly Pavlik. Now this. Economic conditions are helping to bring boxing back to its roots, and fans are responding. And now there's a cut outside Diaz's right eye.
From the left uppercut from Marquez, which has been maybe his most effective punch.
Along with the straight right hand. So they're equal in cuts now. Marquez is having a strong rally in the first minute of the 8th round. There comes the uppercut again. Twice in a row.
He's found a home with that left uppercut between the gloves.
Diaz isn't landing many of these.
No.
But he's asserting his energy again. Good job of blocking punches there by the baby bull. That cut could pose a problem between rounds for Joe Chavez again. You saw the job that Chavez did with Rocky Juarez's cut in the first fight. He'll have to go to work on Diaz between rounds.
The same thing as, you know, Marquez is fighting for the pride of his country. You know, even though they're both supposed to be Mexican, right now, Marquez has said that he would die in the ring and leave all the blood that he has in his body, if he has to, for his country in this fight. Because he considers Diaz a half Mexican. He's American Mexican.
What action.
This is amazing.
Marquez is a good defensive fighter, but Diaz overwhelms his defense, overtaxes it with the sheer volume of his punches. Even as Marquez sharpshoots and continues to land the flusher, harder shots.
And And as the blood flows, the urgency level rises.
And you can see now, it looks like the expression on Diaz's face has changed somewhat. And Marquez's confidence level is starting to grow now.
Diaz did not respond well to the cut against Nate Campbell. He's cut in a similar kind of dire way here against Marquez.
Well, we told you how Marquez adjusts and comes on.
And Diaz got caught with a left hook, and he looks stunned.
25 seconds to go. Can the great technician find a way? Diaz with a left hook to back him off. That left hook was about as clutch a punch as Diaz could possibly have thrown.
And you know, Marquez is an experienced fighter, and he can handle getting into trouble, but I don't know if Diaz can handle that, because he has not had that type of experience.
Everybody's up.
Okay, Juan. Hey, what was it? I'm a punch. A punch?
Gotta check your eye. Look at me. Look at me right here. Look at me. Look this way. Gotta check your eye. Got the cut. Go.
Okay, Juan, listen. Listen. You're not moving your head, son. Okay? Look, don't worry about that cut. The cut is okay. All right? Joe got the cut. Now listen. Give me that mouthpiece. Sorry. Give me the drink. Listen, you got to use the jab, all right? Listen, use your feints on him now, okay? Don't give him too much distance, though. Okay? Okay? Don't stand right in front of this man.
Here you see Marquez mixing up his punches to the outside and between the gloves. I think that left uppercut between the gloves right there was a shot that caused the cut. You can see the blood just start to spurt as soon as he landed that left uppercut. And here is the left hook that he catches with the head, which he just simply didn't see the punch. And it's a punch that hurts is always one you didn't see, because he thought he had blocked it, but it came in the back of the gloves. It still came through. Now, for the first time, the test is going to be how can Diaz handle adversity.
The 8th round was a huge round for Juan Manuel Marquez. 40 out of 85 by CompuBox numbers. Diaz landed only 18 out of 70. Harold Letterman's scorecard begins to tighten. Marquez making his patented mid-round rush.
He's the heavier-handed fighter, and he's the more accurate puncher. And it's starting to take its toll on Diaz.
Another CompuBox milestone. Marquez has now landed more punches in the fight than he's ever landed in a fight counted by CompuBox. I got a feeling they're going to smash every possible CompuBox record for these two fighters tonight.
While they smash each other's faces.
Exactly. What an amazing adjustment Marquez made, Emmanuel, in about the third or fourth round to find that uppercut and start to hammer away at it with 2 and 3 uppercuts at a time.
Very smart fighter. Great adjustment. I thought this time he would be wanting, but as he's turning around, he's back in the fight, and Diaz is starting to grab right now, seeming a little bit. You know, it's interesting, when Diaz had his first professional fight, he was in Mexico. He met Marquez, and they became friends for that night. And Marquez said he never would dream at that time, especially being that he was only 16, that he would end up fighting with Diaz.
He said he was such a nice kid, so warm, so personable. They're taunting each other in the ring. Great left hook by Diaz. He's trying to turn the tide through the sheer force of will.
In between all of this, the referee still is not to have a big one pitch, which means if anyone gets seriously hurt in this fight, they're probably going to get stopped.
All credit to the referee.
Because they don't know
if he stops it, it'll be the first thing he's done in the fight.
Though Marquez is the much more experienced, in fact, it's Diaz who's had more experience fighting at this pace over the course of the fight.
And he's 10 years younger. And he's fighting in his hometown. And he's supposedly the stronger man.
And he's hurt.
A huge uppercut. Down goes Diaz.
Well, it's all because he doesn't know how to clinch.
Can he make it out of the ring? 35 seconds to go. A very brave Juan Diaz will probably go back to fighting.
A experienced fighter would probably clinch, but I don't think that's what he's going to do.
And look at Marquez go to the body. Look at him go to the body to try to set up the finish. And what a right hand. And that will be that.
What you just saw was a really good young fighter knocked out by a great old fighter.
Absolutely.
And you're pound for pound number one.
Maybe.
Marquez.
Just might
No,
be.
that's what you said, and you have good grounds to say that.
Well, let me say this. That's as sensational as any performance Manny Pacquiao's ever produced, for sure. No discredit to Pacquiao, who is great. Marquez is just as great. That was the first knockdown.
Okay.
Here's another look at the first knockdown, Emmanuel.
Right hand, but what amazed me was the precision and the accuracy of the punches from Marquez. He didn't miss too many punches, and he was punching from all angles, even as he was twisting and turning. The mark of an experienced fighter.
A straight right hand, and then the uppercut produced that first knockdown. The second knockdown is really almost a formality on a brilliant right uppercut.
The one thing that Marquez
Set up
did,
by the body shots.
Marquez mixed up his punches. So he threw punches over the top, and then he threw punches up underneath.
The sheer professionalism of the
very
knockout,
professional.
an amazing thing. And if ever you wanted an example of how to finish by going to the body first and setting it up upstairs, that was it. Textbook stuff.
Well, he was a favorite going into the fight, and he proved it to say the expert's right.
Well, and I was speaking to one expert last night who picked Marquez, and at the end of the day, his rationale was he's just a better fighter. And I think this fight showed that.
Yeah, I thought that Diaz would have been able to pull it off. From the beginning of the fight, it showed that way, but Marquez came back and turned the fight around. Very, very smart fighter.
Let's hear the particulars on the knockout from Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we give the official time, a round of applause for these two blood and guts lightweight warriors in this ring here tonight in Houston. The official time, 2 minutes, 40 seconds, round number 9. The winner by knockout victory, Still Ring Magazine World Champion and now WBA, WBO, and IBO Unified Lightweight Champion of the World, Juan Manuel Dinamita